I was like that in Italy. When I went to Italy and I rented a Vespa, he told me I could have 3 to 4 glasses of wine. That was all he told me.
Really?
Was the max?
3 to 4.
No. He didn't tell me anything else about the Vespa. I turned up, I booked the Vespa, and he didn't tell me anything. He was like, "Do you know how to ride a Vespa?" I lied and said yes. I figured, how hard could it be?
Yeah. This is for a wine tour?
It wasn't for a wine tour. It was in a wine area.
Okay.
So he knew I was like a tourist. So he knew I was probably going to drink wine. But my plan was to not drink any wine while driving. Maybe like half a glass with like lunch or something. Because, it's fine.
Yeah.
Well, you shouldn't drink, but, but then he out of the gate, unprompted, goes, 3 to 4 glasses. And I was like, what?
What, without you even asking?
Yeah. I was like, that seems like a lot. And also a wild thing to say. I think he thought I was going to drink. So he was trying to tell me the limit.
Or he was like, I need 3 to 4 glasses. Go get them.
Maybe like a side quest. He also didn't ask for my license. He didn't check anything. I asked what time do I got to bring it back. He said whenever, which I found weird.
But that's what it was. That's what it was like when we rented
He's
the
too chill.
Vespas in Hawaii. Remember?
Yeah, they're too chill.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't even check our
No
driver's
IDs,
license or
no
anything.
nothing.
We literally just showed up and we're like,
I don't know
yeah,
what
4
am I doing
Vespas,
so?
please. And they're like,
driving.
okay.
That's right.
Well, so I drive the Vespa now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can see it out front?
Yeah, I saw it.
I was like, I knew immediately,
Yeah.
oh, we're at the right place.
There are not a lot.
It's very nice, though, yeah.
Bro,
First day I called it, a guy called me gay on it.
Wait, why? Wait, who called you gay?
So I was driving it, and I was just driving it around, and I was going from the dealership to like this warehouse. It's a very short drive, but I like didn't know how to open the thing, so I wasn't wearing my helmet, which you always should.
Yeah,
and I always do usually. But anyway, I'm driving it, and this guy in a Ford fucking F-350 pulls up next to me, rolls down his window, and goes, "Where's your helmet?" And I goes, "Oh, I just picked it up. Like it was maybe 5 minutes since I left." I was like, "I just picked it up. I wear helmets." And he goes, "You should be riding a real bike." And I was like,
Damn.
I was like, okay.
Ford F-150.
I was like, I do. I have a real motorcycle actually. And he goes, "You're driving a girl's bike, right? That's your girlfriend's bike, huh?"
Oh my god!
And I'm like, I have a real bike. I have a Trident Triumph, and like the light's turning green. He's like, "Hey, it's a gay bike," and he just drives away. And I'm so mad. I'm trying to catch up. I'm like, I have a real motorcycle. I have one.
This is literally
Yeah.
the kid in primary school getting bullied.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got bullied by a guy in a Ford, and he just drives off. But the same thing happened to me in Italy too.
Were they told you to what to drink, or you gay?
Oh, both.
Which one?
Honestly, could be both.
Honestly, like
We were doing. I don't know if I told you this before. We were doing a wine tour, and it's supposed to be like a Jeep wine tour.
yeah.
Right.
And me and my friend Aiden
Yeah.
decided to take a little bit of psilocybin.
What is that?
Hell yeah.
It is the
mushroom.
active chemical in mushrooms.
Oh.
But it's not as like when you take it in that form. It's whatever. But yeah, I had never done it before.
Okay.
I'd never done it before outside of actually one time we did it on a podcast. But anyway, I was like, oh, this will be fun on the wine tour, when this Jeep wine tour. We get to the spot. We have this crazy Eastern European tour guide.
Okay.
And he's like, guys, way more fun than Jeep. Vespa.
Okay.
And I'm like, oof, don't love that. And he's like, and nobody there like knows how to drive a Vespa. He's like, trust me, it's great. And so he has like this fleet of Vespas. He's prepared for this. And he's like, everyone drives in a line, comes back. If you do it, good. If not, bad. And you have to be like on the back of someone else.
Right.
Everyone goes through this, like 20 of us doing this. I go, I fucking bank it. I nail it, whatever.
Yeah.
I come back. Only 10 people did it right, which meant every single person who did it right had to not only ride a Vespa, but have somebody on their back.
Oh my god.
Oh.
And I'm there with Cutie, and she failed. She failed the test. She couldn't ride it. So it's basically like skip the tour or lock the fuck in.
Wait, but you taken the mushroom?
Yes.
Oh my god.
But I'd never sobered up quicker in my life. I'm in the hills of Florence, and I'm like I didn't blink for 45 minutes straight. And it went great. It went fine.
To be fair, it is very fun driving the Vespa through the wine area.
I thought you were gonna say on psilocybin. I was like, no, I wouldn't recommend that.
No. But the driving the Vespa was awesome. It's probably like the most fun part of when I was in Italy.
Yeah, you guys should get scooters. I don't know why you don't have them in Japan. I feel like they'd be life changers.
Well,
I have one in
don't even have a
Thailand.
driver's license in Japan.
Yeah.
Well, you said this to me, and the thing is as well is that you're very fast and loose with a lot of things. Japan is not. You cannot just rip it and park it anywhere. They will like it'll
Really?
be yeah you
Yeah, you have to
parking is
register a
very
parking
strict.
spot
Yeah.
in your like apartment
also
or wherever you live.
You can't always just like leave it on the side of a like sidewalk.
It takes a bit of the fun out of it
Yeah.
because it makes
of
it
the
way less
comforts,
convenient.
And I'm assuming you can't lane split.
I think you can. Can you just go between lanes?
Do you see bikes do it?
Yeah. You can go between lanes.
As far
It's
as I-
only legal in California in the U.S.
as far as I know, I've seen people do it.
Yeah, I've seen people do it.
I don't.
I'm
know
not sure if it's legal, but I've seen people do
Well,
it.
right.
You
That's
know?
the problem with Japanese driving laws is are so strict, and also like the speed limit on the highway is
80.
it's like 80 kilometers, which is like 50 miles an hour on the highway. Is the speed
Really?
limit. So
That's
no
slow.
one follows it, which is very confusing because Japan they always follow the rules, but with the traffic rules, it feels like there's kind of like a weird kind of you don't really go the speed limit. But I heard as well that only the person in the front who's speeding gets fined.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because everyone else is following the flow of traffic.
Yeah, which is also strange because that feels
I
very
mean, Japan is very
un-Japanese.
collectivist at the
Yeah,
end of the
it's
day,
very
even
off.
for bad things.
So it's really weird. But
The
I
guy in
get
the
it.
front just tanking it, everyone else just
Well,
saluting.
so what?
Thank you, sir.
So what happens is, right, you'll have the 3 lanes, and people will go into the 3rd lane, and the moment like 3 cars will come out, and then that guy in the front will go in, and then everyone else will go back in because no
Yeah.
one wants to be the guy in the front.
Yeah.
Right.
And then you'll have some like guy in like a BMW that will just run it.
Zoom by.
Yeah, but the convenience of the Vespa and the scooters are kind of lost a little bit. You can definitely get like there are some. I think there's the lower CC ones. Maybe you can get around it, but you still have to park it on the bicycle places or car spots, which is still kind of annoying.
Yeah, and you need a motorcycle license for a Vespa at least.
Yeah,
because the
Vespa you do,
CCs
yeah.
are just too high without a motorcycle
What is the
license.
CC? 50 is the limit. What?
50.
50's limit, and
The
Vespas
limit,
are normally
really?
125.
license.
That's
yeah.
tiny.
Well,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's a motorcycle license is anything above 50cc, which you need to go to like driving
Yeah,
school.
here
and
it's
stuff like that
150.
for. Right.
Yeah, and then you could just get a motorcycle license, like you said, just by fucking. You just said, yeah, you had it.
Well, it didn't work. I tried that. I was renewing my license, and I wanted to drive a motorcycle.
Yeah.
Specifically a Vespa because I got back from Italy, and they were like, "Do you have a motorcycle license?" Or like, "Are you renewing for a car or motorcycle or both?" And I was like, "Both. Fuck it." And then I did that, and then they're like, "Okay, it looks like you put in both. You have to take the test now." And I was like, "Oh." And I tried to worm my way out of it, but I couldn't like change it. So I took the tests. It was like a written test.
Okay.
And I'm bombing every question. It's like if you want to turn right, do you push right, lean right, or push left, lean right, or push left, lean left? I'm like, I don't fucking know. So I fail, but they tell you when you fail what the
wanna
right
redo
answer
it?
is.
So they're like, do you want to redo it?
And then after you fail the quiz, they're like, do you want to try again? And I'm like, sure. And then I failed a second time. And then they're like, do you want to try again? And apparently you're allowed to take it up to 3 times. So I just learned all the answers from getting them wrong and them telling me, and then just did it like a 7-year-old would. And that's
Isn't
how I
this
got it.
crazy?
That is
Isn't
crazy.
this unhinged?
And then
Yeah.
I could drive on the highway.
Like this is why there are so many car crashes.
Yeah.
Well,
Jesus.
me and Michael Reeves have a theory.
Okay.
Because he got me into motorcycles. Is they do this to harvest your organs.
No, this
Because
okay.
then they
All
ask
right.
you if you want to be an organ donor, and the highest percentage of organ donors are motorcycle drivers.
Okay. Well, okay.
It's the state. Big states trying to harvest your organ.
I would imagine that it is less efficient economically to have people die.
You'd be surprised.
Well, I guess. Yeah, I guess maybe. That's such a
Well,
weird.
it's like if you have a dangerous hobby anyway, might as well
Yeah.
make the most out of it.
True,
right?
true. Like they say, if you go bungee jumping or skydiving, they should just
Yeah.
give you an organ donor for
No,
when do it.
you ain't getting your organs back if you.
Oh, true. It's just like, those things are ruptured.
Yeah, exactly.
They're not useful.
God damn.
Oh my god.
Yeah, because I swear every motorcyclist that I've like met who was like older, they always have had like one fucking awful crash
Yeah.
that has
Yeah.
put them out
Or
of
know
commission.
someone.
Yeah, or know someone.
They're very somber. It's good to talk to people like that because they make sure that if you talk to people like that, you'll never dress poorly for the ride.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
I thinking about bikes and cars in Japan, I feel like cars are still pretty damn convenient in Japan because you can just park anywhere if you're doing like.
Yeah, because
a
cars are
short
way
stop.
smaller in Japan.
Yeah,
as
you
well.
press the hazard button, you can stop anywhere in Japan.
Yeah, that's that. Well,
Which is
I
crazy,
drove a
right?
bunch for the RV trip.
You did, yeah. And you can just stop anywhere.
Yeah, and I saw a lot of that. It's kind of fun to drive. I liked driving in Japan.
It's relaxing because
Yeah.
there's,
A
lot
not
of
much,
people
there's
say that, yeah.
not much traffic.
Skinny roads, though.
Yeah. Well, you nearly fucking sent the RV flying that one time.
Okay, that's dramatic.
You did. I was in the
It
back.
took
of
a bit of air.
the car took air.
Bit of excitement.
Okay.
You know?
Have you ever been in the car that took air?
No.
Yes.
Have you ever been in an RV that took air?
No.
now have you been in the back of an RV when it takes air?
No.
So he's fucking running it. I don't know why we were in like some mountain road in Izu, and he's going so fast.
No, it wasn't a speed thing.
Oh, you hit a curb, right?
Yeah, it was basically like the roads were so skinny, and then the side of the road was like kind of like what do you call them? It's like just like flat. And it's just a line, and it was like, this is extra road.
Right.
And then it became a sidewalk, and so it ramped up, and I didn't realize I was on the ramp. And then I just centered myself a bit to the road, and then I just took off the ramp.
And I went like, I was in the back. We were talking. We were trying to get ready for the stream.
Yeah.
And I remember I went like full on, and I was like, "Holy shit!" And I was freaking out. I was like, "What the fuck, Ludwig?" And you were like, "Nah, baby, it's good." And I'm like, "I just went 4 meters in the air. It's not good." And I was like, "Did we fuck the RV?" But I was like, although I had like every insurance known to man on that thing.
I think nothing came of it.
No, nothing did. Luckily,
But yeah, it worked out.
it was terrifying.
You drove a bunch, I know, on the first RV trip because you were the only one that could drive.
It was very helpful that you were willing to drive.
Yeah, and so I felt bad that you were driving all the time.
No, that helped. Yeah, I appreciate it.
But
Also, it's nice being in the front 'cause you can chill out for a bit.
Yeah.
The stream's normally in the back.
right, yeah, you don't have to be on the stream the whole time.
Yeah.
It's nice. That's why Chris would hog the front.
Yeah.
I had to tell him off. I was like,
Bro,
Chris,
he's a diva.
he
You just realized it.
Yes.
he can be a D. I did tell him off afterwards, like, Chris, you can't hog the front seat. We all need a break. we got to rotate the front, like, because he didn't want to drive.
Yeah.
Then he wasn't willing to give up.
He would never, he would refuse to drive, but then he'd like the car would be locked. He'd be sitting in front of it like, when are you unlocking this? This is, I am waiting for my throne.
Yeah, he does like to be a little diva.
And then he gets on stream for a bit. He does his little Chris bit, and he's like, all right, that's good. He's a treasure.
He gets away with it. He gets away with it. 'Cause he's
He
a
met
grumpy
he
old
met
man.
the emperor.
Yeah, he
Yeah, he
did.
did.
Yeah.
Recently, yeah.
How did that happen? I suppose we'll have Chris on to tell the entire
He'll tell
story.
the story,
Yeah.
but basically TLDR, apparently the aide to the king, huge fan of Chris. He said that apparently loves the cyclothons.
Wow.
Apparently big fan of Japan.
So why weren't you invited?
That's
then?
what I'm saying. I was like, oh, he's a big fan of the cyclethon. Huh?
Yeah.
Maybe it's a Welsh thing. Maybe they just don't want me there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
They can't have a Welshman enter Buckingham Palace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just
Hasn't
think-
happened in 300 years.
I just think that he knows that I would ask about the whole Prince of Wales stuff. When are we going to drop that? When are we going to give it back? Come on now.
Wait, what is that?
Well, okay. So the Prince of Wales.
Understand this will make sure you'll never be invited if you say the story.
Well, no, it's fine. I mean, so the whole
he's gang.
the whole title of Prince of Wales was that back in like 16 something. Eventually, when Wales was like, all right, we'll stop killing people if you promise to let at the time the prince because prince was a Roman term that was higher than king. So if someone was
really?
the prince was the higher title. So the guy had called himself the Prince of Wales at the time, whatever. He was like, all right, fine, we'll agree to join England, we'll stop fighting if you let my son be the next king of the UK. And he was like, sure. So then he'll be the Prince of Wales. So then this was the title that kept going. And then as it was his turn, they were like, nah. And they didn't let him be king.
Oh.
They yoinked, like rug pulled, didn't let him be king, and then they just kept calling it Prince of Wales since. And I think that's super BM.
Yeah, no, they kind of scammed him.
Yeah,
I mean,
right?
High-key scammed him.
So I feel like that's an unfair thing. Sure. And with a lot of like Welsh nationals hate it. Like when did you watch The Crown?
No, first 2 seasons.
You watched The Crown, right?
Yeah.
You know when Prince Charles at the time did his like speech in the castle at Wales?
Yeah.
What they didn't show was that like at the time, the Welsh people kept trying to like call in like bomb threats and were like threatening to like blow it up. They were like, we do not want this guy here.
Wow.
Jesus.
So they were like hardcore. I don't know if they're as hardcore now. I mean, that was back in like the 80s, but it was very hardcore. And even when I was growing up, because it came from a super Welsh region, they were always like, yeah, we hate the king. We hate the royal family. We don't recognize them. We don't like this.
Well, I feel like the hatred is like ingrained. Even
yeah.
if it's like died down to more just like banter and like
hate
friendly
them, yeah.
rivalry. But
like, I can recognize there's some benefit to having the royal family, but I understand where they're coming from.
yeah.
It's like a pride thing. You're like, we got fucked by England, and now we're still getting fucked.